Just because it comes from the Alps, don't think it's ice cold, because the Alpine A290 GTS is a true hot hatch. The mini spoiler on the trunk lid, the 19-inch wheels, and the Brembo brake calipers. The rear door details that highlight its racing identity, the stunning side skirts, the wide piano black fender flares, and the 32cm brake discs. Every single detail at the front carries a trace from the rally tracks. Renault 5? It's truly the grandson of its grandfather, iconic, or rather, completely retro-futuristic. With its front design, the Renault 5 feels urban, simpler and easier on the eyes. A brilliant 5 detail on the hood that displays the charging status. The 18-inch wheels provide more comfort for city driving. Almost every single detail of this car, including the roof, can be customized. For now, we chose the Alpine. And the Renault 5 is right behind us. Now, if you'd like, let's take a closer look at these two cars. The front face of the Alpine A290 looks extremely aggressive. The bumper details feature very sharp lines. The X-shaped daytime running lights inspired by rally car fog lights are one of this car's signature details. Inside the small window on the hood, we see the brand logo over shapes inspired by the Alps mountains. Now, when we move toward its sibling, the Renault 5, we are greeted by a much more urban face. The square-shaped fog lights and the simpler bumper design add an elegant minimalism to the front of the car. Inside the hood window, this time there's an illuminated number 5. The square form is reflected in almost every detail of the car, and this vehicle proudly screams that it's French in every single detail. So, what differences do we see from the side profile? This time, let's start with the side of the Renault 5, or R5. The R5 rides on 195/55/18 tires with dual-tone Techno diamond cut wheels. The Alpine, on the other hand, comes with 19-inch snowflake-style diamond-cut black wheels. As we move toward the rear door, you can see the straight flowing form on the rear door of the Renault 5. And down below, the side skirts are much more subtle. On the Alpine though, look a far more muscular body kit. The side skirts and the fender flares continue in a much more pronounced form. Even the rear door has a very cool shape. A much sportier design overall. When we come to the rear details, the Renault 5 has a simpler bumper, but the taillights are almost identical. On the Alpine, thanks to the bumper extensions, we're talking about a car that's a few centimeters longer. Now come on, let's take a look at the interior details. The Renault 5 arrived in our country with the Techno trim. That's why we can say it has a slightly more modest interior design. However, the seat comfort is still very good. The Renault 5 features a mixed fabric and leather seat design. But as you can see, the interior details are more suited for a city car, with many nostalgic references to the classic Renault 5 throughout the design. Many interior console details in the Renault 5 can be customized and decorated with amazing 3D printed accessories. Roof pattern in both cars is exactly the same, with a square diamond-style design, and the steering wheel, as you can see, is the classic Renault steering wheel. I think the most important part here is the center console. In this car, there are only small storage areas and a wireless charging pad. The handbrake is positioned right here. The physical buttons remain exactly as they are. These sections are almost identical to the Alpine A290. The gear selector, or rather the gear lever, is located right behind the steering wheel. Now let's quickly check out the interior details of the Alpine. Especially the leather on the doors feels very premium. The upper section looks fantastic, really elegant. Alpine details are almost everywhere. The Nappa leather seats immediately stand out, and honestly, the color choice is amazing, and the steering wheel is truly one of the most important highlights of this car. Just look at the center console, guys. The Alpine is a much sportier, much classier, and overall much better looking car in terms of design. I'm going to wrap up the filming here, guys, but I want to ask you one last time, which twin suits you better? Which car fits you more? Which one feels closer to your character? Please write it in the comments. I think we should discuss this topic in depth. The prices will also be written below. I'll be expecting you guys to compare the prices and performance as well.